everybody, and welcome to day 35. Day 35 until I am 50. I'm really excited about today because um, I've talked a lot in these days. I talked about ask, believe, receive, and I'm a big follower of The Secret and all of these things. But there was something that stuck out with me today that I wanted to share with you because I felt it would be very uplifting to some people. There's going to be someone that needs to hear this. And I think on this day, I wanted to tell you that I think we have a tendency to underestimate our power. On this day, one of the things that I discovered in as I was reading some things from some of the philosophers and stuff, and one of the things that one of the philosophers said is that we are born of that of God, and we are born with God-like power. Therefore, we are a manifestation of God. So when we get that and understand where we are born from and the power to which we hold, it allows you to understand a little bit more of how much control you have over your life. And it really dawned on me, and I said, you know, when I look back and I think about how many times in my life, in my 50 years, I was faced with decisions, that is power. Whenever you're faced with a decision that is in your control, that means you have power. So, we spend so much time thinking about things that have happened and things that people have done to us that we fail to understand the power to which we hold, that we can make something better. We are the ones that control a lot of our destiny with the decisions that we make. What if you tapped into that power? What if in 2019 you took control and you decided to yourself that you were going to utilize that which is manifested within you? There was a couple segments of The Secret that I went back to review, and so just so make sure I was clear. But it is true that even though we have often grown into this realm of understanding, God decides how our lives are going to go or so forth, but you have to understand the power to which he gives you. Every single day you wake up, right? You have to understand, when you wake up, you've been given a reaffirmation of your power. So you can leave out, go to work, make decisions, and understand that you have the power to determine what's going to happen your next 5 minutes, your next half an hour, your next 8 hours. Like, you have that power based on the decisions that you make as the day goes along. And it is envisioning yourself with the power to which you've been given. You hear it so often, I don't have control over this, when actually you do. There's very little situations in your life that you actually don't have control over. Very few. Because I sat back and I thought about this and I said, well, what are some things that I don't have power over? And it's very few. It is so few. Okay, so the situation of me taking care of my mom, I don't have power over that. I can't stick her somewhere, nor do I want to. So I look at everything else. So I take myself, my physical self, and say, what do I have power over? Well, I have power over my weight. I can change and lose weight more if I change this and change that, right? You have that power. Instead of focusing on what your inabilities are, I focus on what my abilities are. My dream of, I have my vision wall and I'm focusing all these different things. Instead of focusing on what's not complete, I'm going to start focusing on what is complete. And envision myself and utilize my power to make the things that I want happen. Because I said yesterday that I have a tendency to, take so much stuff personal, and I realize and listening to the power to which I have, I waste so much energy on so much unnecessary stuff. And it's like, I'm going to really try my hardest to focus on just transferring my power to that which is more positive and the goal at hand. And it's a hard thing to do. And it's a hard thing to swallow, to understand that you have God-like powers. You have to understand God is within you. You were manifested by him. So therefore, you have to understand that he's giving you the power to which you've been manifested from. And that sometimes is a hard thing to get in your head. It's like, really? And of course, you have the ability. You are made to perfection. You are made perfect. And being made perfect means you have these abilities, these powers, that if you shift the way in which you think, it will be released, because the universe is then going to react to that. It's like if you spend and this is the hardest thing to get people to do, because we live in a world of right fighters. We live in a world of defensors and so forth, because you could have conversations with people and it turns into a power struggle, right? It turns into, well, no, this is this and this and that, because we live in this world of right fighters and different things like that. We have this terrible inability to take situations and move them along in a positive light, because we're so busy spending so much time being right fighters and trying to defend a position, when you should be utilizing your power in another way. There's always going to be negativity no matter what. But what if you utilize that which is manifested in you to make something great? It is your duty to yourself. If you are waking up every day, it is because you have a purpose that you have just not tapped into. We all have a purpose. I've said this time and time again. God is giving you a power and purpose, and maybe, I don't care how old you are, maybe you just haven't tapped into it yet, but you have it. You definitely have it. And you have to take this moment, take 2019 to say to yourself, yeah, I don't like how this is all going. I'm not going to repeat 2018 how I did 2019. I'm going to tap in and really see what it is I'm supposed to be doing. You may be surprised if you clear your head and take a moment to get lost, as we said yesterday, and really, really think about the things that you want to do. Your life is greater than getting up every morning, going to get a paycheck, come home, go to bed, get up. It's greater than that. Your power is greater than that. Don't get me wrong, we all got to pay bills and do but you have to be willing to take some time to understand, do you have something within you that's greater than just that job every day? And are you willing to work for it? We all live, most of us, maybe not all of us, live in this realm of we just would love to have financial security, love to have love to have great relationships, maybe marriages if that's on your plate, and have great relationships with people, great friends and all these things. But what are you doing to get that? Do you live in the realm of the daily social media life of negativity, right? Where you're feeding into the negativity, you're reading the negativity. Are you spending a lot of time in that and then putting yourself in that category? Or are you basically detoxing yourself and removing yourself from that, building your own new circle, your own new perspective? And are you saying to yourself, I'm going to utilize my power in a different way? I've always said that later, in my life, I realized that I have one gift that's been given to me, is I have the ability to attract people when it comes to motivational speaking. I've done some motivational speaking in my life, and I believe that's part of a gift that's been given. It's just a matter of me tapping into it to get it to a greater audience. I just feel without a doubt that whether it's 5 people or 3 people or 100 people that get to these 50 days until I'm 50 videos, somebody's going to hear it and somebody's going to be touched by the power to which it gives. And that's what you want. You want to do things that are giving you power, feeding your power in a positive light so that everything kind of works in sync of what you're trying to do. If you want to lose weight, use your power to focus on the weight loss, not the weight you've gained. Envision yourself smaller. See yourself in a different light. If you want a different job, don't focus on the negativity of the existing job. Focus on the positivity of what is to come. If you want to start a business, don't focus on the fact that you haven't started it yet. Use your power to come up with a plan. See, we spend too much time and energy focusing on what we don't want when we should be utilizing our powers to focus on what we want. And that even is including relationships. We spend too much time with the wrong people, staying in the wrong relationships, because we keep hoping that the next day or the day after, that person will be something which we envision they will be. And it is you not utilizing your powers to say, no, I deserve what I want. It is a rough road to follow. And it is rough for you to understand, or very hard for you to understand, that you actually have power. And you need to tap into that. And if you are a person that truly believes in God and believe that you are manifested from God, then you have to understand that you have God-like qualities. I'm not saying you're God, but I'm saying that you were manifested from Him. He is a power to which is amazing. So you have to understand that you weren't just born of Him, you were born with Him within you. So you have some abilities, you just don't know what they are. And you've got to ask Him to help you understand what those are. Ask Him to help you, guide you through the process. So from this day forward, I want you to wake up tomorrow morning and stop focusing on what you do not want. I don't care if it's money. Stop focusing on the fact that you don't have enough. Focus on the fact of what you do have and what you need to do to get more. Utilize your powers to do that. But this is the generation and the way in which we live. We focus so much on the negativity of what we don't have, what we don't want, and then it brings more of that. If you want success, focus on success. And focus on what success is defined by you. If you want peace, focus on peace. If you want love, focus on what love looks like to you. Tap in to that power, because you are more powerful than you know. All right, everybody. On to tomorrow.